Back to my channel. Before we get into this video, I just want to let you guys know that if you're new here, I make videos about living my life as a teenager with a disability and a service dog. So if you like all of that, please subscribe, because we have fun over here. We spread disability awareness, we go live, we upload shorts all the time. It's crazy. So if you want to help spread disability awareness, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button. It helps your girl out, and it is 100% free, and we're almost to 400 subscribers, which thank you. I know our community is small, but if we keep going, we're gonna make a big difference. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my diagnosis story, which is mainly going to be talking about my seizures. Now, I don't have seizures anymore, which I'll get into later on in the video, but in this story, I also ended up getting diagnosed with cerebral palsy at kind of the same time. So I guess you could say this is like my whole medical diagnosis story. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Basically, I came home from the hospital, right? And I was, I guess you could say, very, like, my body wasn't making, like, normal movements. So my balance was off a lot. Like, I'd cry a lot, like crazily. Like, it was bad, and I always wanted to be held all the time. But my mom could tell something was off because I would be like flailing my arms. Now, this is something I do now because of stimming, which is self-stimulatory behavior. It's a part of my disability. My mom and I had discussed that maybe, like, that's what that was. She just wasn't educated on stimming because she didn't know I had a disability and whatever. Anyway, so she didn't know what was going on. So she took me to our pediatrician, and our pediatrician at the time was like,
I'm concerned your daughter may be having seizures.
So my mom takes me and we go to Sacred Heart Hospital. So we go, we get some tests done, and we find out that I was having so what my seizures would look like was they were focal seizures. So my eyes would blink, as well as I would make a noise that my mom said sounded like, or like, it was kind of like a gargling noise like that, you know, something along those lines, she said. So yeah, that was my seizure symptoms. And then a lot of times I'd throw up afterwards. So yeah, I wasn't having tonic-clonic, or what they'd call grandma seizures. I was having focal. But you know, you gotta think about it. It's still scary, you know. I was a very, very young baby at the time. I had to be very cautious around different lighting situations different activity, you know, all these kind of sensory input things, because we wanted to be cautious of my triggers. So then we ended up, I had seizures, and so they're like, all right, let's put her on some medicine. First medicine they put me on, I believe, didn't really work that well, so they ended up putting me on Keppra. Now, I have not had a seizure since I was 3 years old. Older, they would gradually dissipate. So they went from every few nights to like having a couple every few weeks. And then it just slowly dissipated. And once I was old enough to find out that I had seizures and I knew that I was on Keppra, my doctors were like down to wean me off of it. But I have grown up with anxiety my whole life. Therefore, I was nervous to be taken off of Keppra. However, I'm happy to say that I have been seizure-free since I was 3 years old, which is really, really great, and I'm really, really thrilled and happy about that. I don't worry about that anymore. And like I said, as far as the arm flailing, it could have been a seizure sign back then. I think it was, but now it's a stim that I do. It's not like I can control it and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the whole seizure thing. My mom basically walked on eggshells when I was little. Hey guys, so we had a bit of a malfunction, if you will. My SD card was full, so I had to empty it real quick and come back. But what I was saying was, when I was 3 years old, the last seizure I ended up having, me and my mom and my dad were at the fair. So we were at the fair, and my mom just knew. She said, like, my face looked weird. I don't really know how to explain it, except she said my face looked weird. And then, of course, I started doing the noise, and then my eyes started, like, repetitively blinking, and I threw up and all that stuff. So, yeah, and then, as I said, you know, when I was put on Keppra, and that stopped them, and I haven't had seizures ever since. But, like, while I was at the hospital and they were figuring everything out, they found out I had cerebral palsy. And from my understanding, babies who have CP can have seizures along with it, like in babyhood. Childhood is what you call it, yeah, English.
Rachel, dear God.
So yeah, in childhood they can have seizures, which I was one of them. So yeah, but I am so blessed to say that I have not had a seizure since then, and I believe it's written in my individual education plan that if I ever do have another seizure, which I rebuke in the name of Jesus, that they call the ambulance, like if I'm at school or what, you know, so there's like a plan in place for that. But thankfully we've never had to use it, and I'm in grade 10 up to this point. So yeah, that's my seizure story. No, I was not diagnosed with epilepsy, because after I stopped taking Keppra, the seizures never came back. They like dissipated like forever pretty much. So I was not diagnosed with epilepsy, although we do know they weren't like big seizures. They were just focal and they had the noise and stuff like that. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. And then I got diagnosed with CP around the same time frame, and they realized, oh, she has CP because of the placental abruption. I guess when I was in the hospital the first time, like after I was born, because they knew I was high risk, because when I was born, they realized that I was going to need to be in the hospital for a long time. I guess that was simply just because I was a preemie baby and I had almost died. But I don't think they were seeing CP symptoms until my mom brought me home and saw all these weird like signs and took me to the pediatrician. So like I said, the main reason why I was in the NICU and stuff and in the hospital for so long after I was born was because I was a NICU baby. But thank God I'm alive, happy, and well. And yeah, that is my diagnosis story of everything. If you guys would like me to do a video about like growing up with cerebral palsy and what happened after the CP diagnosis, I will surely do that. But this video was just more so of like a seizure diagnosis type of thing, and just a little bit into the CP part, but it was mainly just to talk like seizures and stuff like that. So yeah, that is my pretty much my medical journey when I was a little tiny kiddo. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It's completely free, and go ahead and subscribe because we're almost to 400, which I am shook. You guys, thank you. I love you so much. A lot going on right now, honestly. Like, my grandma just passed away and stuff like that, so I really feel like you guys are just really helping me, and doing YouTube and having like you guys along with family and other stuff is kind of an outlet for me. So yeah, I thank you guys so much for that, and I really just want to continue not only disability awareness but the love of God as well. So I will see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye.